Greetings everyone, I'm your mortician back with another video trying to spread some knowledge and positivity on the funeral home industry and the death industry as a whole. In this video I wanted to tell another story time, but this one's going to be a little bit different. The last video that I did was a story time, but it was about the first time that I had actually seen a decedent, first time I had went on a call. Pretty good video. If you want to check that out, check out that just to kind of see the different perspectives, I guess you could say. But in this video, I'm going to be talking about one of the crazier things that I've gotten, and honestly, it was kind of early, not early, but it was the first time I had actually dealt with something pretty crazy. Because like I said, at this time, I was working for the company that did not have the medical examiner contract, so we didn't get any of the car accidents, suicides, all that stuff. We just did typical residence calls. We did a lot of family, based calls. It wasn't any car crashes, like I said. So anyway, typical morning, I was headed to the gas station to get a few drinks. At this time, my wife was actually doing removals with me. So I was headed to get a couple drinks, and I was on my way back home, and I passed a cop speaking to a really old woman out front of her house, or a house. And I kind of got a weird vibe when I drove past it, but I just kept on trucking, went on with my business. Well, I only made it about half a mile down the road, and I get a call from one of the funeral homes, and they said, hey, we have a call, and it's a police on scene. And I said, well, it's not on da-da-da street, is it? And they said, yes. And they said, how did you know that? And I said, well, I just took a guess. I drove by, kind of got a weird feeling, and kind of just figured that that was something that was up. And they said, yep. She said, I don't know exactly the details, but basically his dog got to him. And I looked at her or over the phone. I'm like, well, what does that mean? And she said, well, a dog got to him. I didn't get any other details. I said, okay. So we get dressed, we hop in the van, we drive over there. And when we pull up, anytime that we do a police on scene, we typically have to get information from the officers. So we're speaking to him, we're kind of just getting our basic information. And he says, hey, just to let you know, the dog got to him. And I said, well, that's what the funeral home told us, but what do you mean? And he kind of went into telling us that whenever he got to the property, it was just a 10-4 check. I don't know if that's police lingo all around the board or what, but basically he explained to me that a 10-4 check was someone from another town or someone from another county or state calls in and they say, hey, we haven't heard from this person, this is their address, can you just check on them? And they'll go knock on the door, make contact with the person, and the person may say, yeah, I just don't want to talk to her, I don't like her, or yeah, we're having problems, or whatever it is, and they'll just check, let them go, and then they'll relay the message, hey, they're okay. So it's really just to check in on someone. So I'm guessing that this older woman had called a 10-4 check on this gentleman, and when the cop got there, he knocked on the front door, no one answered. He went to the back door, knocked on the back door, no one answered. So he started kind of looking around the property, and he went up to a window that was on a little side door, and he started shining his light through there, and he said that all he saw was a bigger dog just like pulling, like he's trying to like pull a rug or playing tug of war with a chew toy or whatever. And he said that he got the door open. When he got the door open, he noticed that the dog had been on this decedent. And in that instance, when he told me that, I still didn't really get what was going on. Like we deal with aggressive animals all the time. People don't believe it, but animals get attached to people just like people do. I've seen, and people are going to call me crazy, but until you've seen it, you can't say that it's not, and you also probably can't believe it until you see it. But I've seen dogs cry. I've seen them whimper as soon as they get placed next to, their owner or whatever. I've seen animals get angry, defensive. There's animals who won't leave the bed while we're doing it. All kinds of crazy things. So anyway, I still didn't get what he was meaning. So when we walked in the door, immediately the guy had like thousands, like not even joking, like thousands of receipts just everywhere. Like this dude kept receipts from like the 90s. Like they were just everywhere. So we go in, and the gentleman was laying on the floor, and from his waist down was completely consumed. There were bones and stuff like that were exposed, but completely consumed. So when we go in, we get our body bag and stuff. In this case, we have to use a body bag. There's certain situations you just have to, but in my last video, like I stated, if we go on a house call, we're not using body bags and all that good stuff. So basically, we get our stretcher, we get our bag, we get all this stuff, and we go in. and we go to get him ready. So we lay the body bag down, and we have to pick this gentleman up and move him over. So I was on the waist up end, and my wife was on the waist down end. And to give you an honest visual, your femur, the bone, you know, by your shin and all that stuff, I believe it's your femur, that was fully exposed all the way around, like a pole. Like, it was just fully, nothing around it, no tissue, no nothing, just gone. And she had to grab that femur in her hand, and we had to move him into the bag. And we, you know, picked him up, we got him moved over and all that good stuff, you know, closed up the bag, zipped up the bag, went up, got him on the stretcher, went and loaded him up. But there's a few more things about the story. So this gentleman had actually, I'm guessing it was a heart attack, something along those lines. But typically in any type of case like that, the medical examiner is going to take that case. In this instance, I have absolutely no idea why they didn't take this case. It should have been their case from the start, but they just denied it. And if they deny it, then the person's going to go straight to a funeral home. This house was only that building right there. Right there, yeah. That's how far away the house was from the funeral home. So it was like right there. So, but like I said, a few things is that this person had passed away and then decomposed just naturally over time. So in Florida, Texas, all these hot states, you're going to decompose a lot faster if no one finds you versus a colder state. Heat, if you're inside a car, a small room, all those things are factors onto how long it takes someone to actually decompose, or at least start the decomposing process. So he had already started. He had been there quite a few days. No AC in the house, none of that. In the state of Florida, this is what I was told by many officers, that if a dog or any domestic pet consumes human flesh, I'm not talking about a dog bite because you were kicking the dog. I mean, like, actually consuming human flesh. That dog has to be automatically euthanized, or it has to be adopted by the family member. In this case, the dog didn't get euthanized, so the family had adopted him. No way. There is no way. No way. I love dogs. I have a dog. No way. So basically, this family had adopted the dog. The dog didn't get euthanized. I don't have any updates on that, but this gentleman, like I said, 100% should have been an ME case. He was consumed by his dog, waist down. Any type of anatomy parts that you can think of on a male, they were gone. He was fully consumed. But what kind of shocked me by this call was the fact that the officer saw the dog kind of pulling. Like, that's just a scene that I don't think I could ever forget if I actually saw that. The dog was gone by the time that we got there on scene. So, of course, our job was just to give this gentleman as much dignity as we could, get him picked up, take him to the funeral home, and get him, you know, put into the cooler. So, that was kind of really the first crazy scene that I had ever saw. Never really dealt with anybody getting eaten or anything like that. I had heard stories, but I thought that it was fake. You know, I don't know, until you see it, you can't really believe it. But that's why I wanted to start this channel, is to kind of express and share my experiences and my opinions on things. So yeah, guys, I hope that you enjoyed this story time. It was a little bit different than the past two videos. Just want to put out there, sorry if I've been a little awkward in these videos. It's a little weird to kind of hop on a camera and start talking when I've never really done that. But I'm really trying, and I really want to, you know, spread as many stories as I can, and I have thousands of them, and they keep coming every single day. So if there's anything that you guys want to see on the next video, I have a bunch more stories, I have a bunch more opinions, I have all kinds of different things that this channel is going to be bringing to you. I have something very big coming for this channel. Very huge. I don't want to speak on it, you know, too soon. It'll probably be coming out in the next week or so. But I have something huge coming. So my Instagram will be in the description. Subscribe, like, all that stuff. And if you ever need anybody to talk to, any questions answered, or anybody to try to advocate for you in the funeral home industry, whether it's cremation or whatever it is, just message me. I have contacts in many different states, so it won't be hard to figure out what you're trying to ask me if I don't already know the answer. So, yeah, guys, subscribe, like, comment, hit up the Instagram if you have any questions. I'll probably be going live on there a couple times here coming up soon. So anyway, I'm your mortician, just trying to spread some knowledge and positivity on the death industry as a whole. Hope that you guys enjoyed the video. Didn't want to go into too much detail like I said, but I hope that you guys have a great day. Thank you. Bye.